Okay, good afternoon, guys. Hope everyone is well. Probably a few of you wondering why I didn't stream yesterday. No easy way to say it is I came on the stream about an hour before I was due to stream. Or I came on the charts an hour before I was due to stream. And I took a bad trade, got frustrated, tried to chase it. You know the story, ended up blowing my two PA accounts. So, I just felt absolutely physically sick. As most of you know what it feels like. I'm just been struggling. Hey, bud, how you doing? So, there it is. We've all done it. So, I'm back this morning. On another evaluation. So I'm going to play things a little bit differently from now on. Instead of trying to build up or build accounts or build too much, what I'm going to do is take one evaluation. When I pass, hey Speedy, how you doing? When I pass the evaluation and go on to a PA account, I'm going to take out one more evaluation. My aim is to get the PA account to 10 days above $2,600 and make a withdrawal. What I want to start, I'm just getting fed up of throwing money at it all the time. So what I'm going to do is concentrate on trying to get $2,000 back. Just to try. Now, I've worked out I have thrown about $7,000 at Apex so far. I've had about $2,500 to $3,000 back in the one payment I had, and excuse me, and a couple of payments from the affiliate links, which I appreciate you guys using my code. Hey Roger, how you doing? So the plan is to get an evaluation up to pass a PA, then on a PA, and aim to get that PA account to above $2,600 in 10 days or above 10 days, and then take a withdrawal. And then as I start that PA, I'm going to take out another evaluation and try and build it up one at a time. And I'm just going to try and get some of this money back, because the trouble is when you know, I know I've got the skills to trade, but it's the psychological side, the amount of money I've thrown at Apex that's just constantly in my head. So what I'm going to do, if I can get 3 $2,000 payments, I'll have got more than my money back. Then I can start focusing on more accounts. So, hey Angela, how you doing? Totally feel for you. I also did the other day, bought 2 yesterday. Thank you. I appreciate that, Angela. It is frustrating. It is tough. It's the hardest part of trading. Learning all this, the markets is more or less just a process. Is this working? Is it? Have I signed in? Yeah, I have. Is this counting down? Is it? No, it is. Sorry. Just seemed to go a bit stagnant then. Yeah. Learning all this part is a process. It takes a bit of time, but it's a process that anyone really can do. But it's the toughest part is the psychological side. And we all know what it feels like, and we've all done it. But what frustrated me most of all is because the account was at $2,700 and on 9 days. So it's just so gutting. But I think for me, for now, when I'm on the stream, I tend to take things, I don't do stupid things. It's when I'm trading on my own is the frustrating thing. So what I'm going to try and do is just literally trade when I'm streaming. But the trouble is, when you find things difficult and your account gets into a loss, straight away you're sort of reminded of all the money you've paid into Apex. So I want to try and concentrate on getting $2,000 or $3,000 payments back. And then hopefully that should get me in a little better place to start moving forward then. But so there it is anyway. So yeah, bad day yesterday, but we've all done them. And you know, I could have said a bunch of things this morning. I could have said, you know, that our clocks went for, and all these excuses. But sometimes it's just best to just be honest with you. Now, part of this stream is I wanted you to just see me for me, and I didn't want to tell you all the rosy stuff, and I wanted you to you see when I found it hard and when I'm struggling, because it is all part of the journey. And I suppose it's part of it for me. So many people show their charts and their streams, and they don't show you their losses, and they don't show you their bad times. Thanks, Lady Lugs. I appreciate that, mate. Hey, Richard, how you doing? We've all been there. Yeah, we certainly have, mate. DJ, how you doing, DJ? Who else have I missed? F Zen, good morning from Alberta. You're a new face, I think. You're welcome. It's nice to have some new faces. Who else we got there? John Eunice, I think. I hope that pronounced that right. Tech, how you doing? Roger, how you doing? You're very real. Thank you. Thanks. Well, I think that's the bit about when you're streaming in front of people, they see how it is, and I see lots of people who show their trades and their bar by bars and all that after the fact, but very few people actually show their losses. I know what's his name? What's it used to? Thomas Wade used to, but he doesn't anymore. But there's not many people that actually that do show you the stuff when they do all the bars and all that. Hey, Sam. So sometimes it's good to see what it's like, and it is tough sometimes. It's mentally tough. It does sound like it's going to be easy, but it just isn't. And we've all done it. You take a bad trade and then something just clicks in your mind, and it's almost like someone else has taken over the steering wheel and they're steering you down a rocky road, and you know before you know it, everything the count's blown, and you're like sat there open mouthed, and you don't know what the hell's going on. So it's frustrating, but it's all part of it, I think. But yeah, that's the plan, to try and get some of this money back, so I don't feel frustrated. Sometimes you have these dreams of earning this much on so many accounts. If I could earn $2,000 on 5 accounts, I could earn this, and we all have those thoughts. But the trouble is, sometimes it gets in the way, and it can make it a little difficult. It blinds you a little bit, so it's frustrating. There's no easy way to put it. Anybody who's been trading and blown a few accounts knows exactly how much you're going to leave in your pay account as a drawdown. Well, to be honest with you, mate, I seem to have trouble getting it building it up. So what I'm going to do, and you may agree with it or you may not, I'm starting with one account. I'll build that to a PA. All I want to do is get it above $2,600, and then I'll make a $2,000 withdrawal. Now, that leaves me with about so let's say $600. Now, that isn't a lot. So what I'll do then is go down onto a single contract, which will give me a few losses in a row. But once I've got that PA account up to 10 days, I should have another PA account coming online then. So I'm just concentrated on trying to get say 3 $2,000 payments, and that will get me back what I've put into Apex. So I feel like I'm starting a little bit of a fresh there now. Some of you might not agree with that, and you might think, well, it doesn't sound very good. But if I'd have done that yesterday, I'd have been able to take a payment. I'd have hit 10 days, so I'd have had $2,000. I'm just sick of throwing money, so I want a little bit of it back so I can reinvest then. Excuse me a minute, I'm just going to stir my tea. But yeah, I just want some of it back. It's frustrating me giving out so much all the time. How are you doing the same trading style? How about doing the same trading style you do on an eval when on a PA? Oh, excuse me just 1 second, sorry. I apologise. Sorry about that. Annoying caller trying to sell me something. Okay. Where are we? What time is it? Okay, market opens in 30 minutes. Okay, see, I'm just looking at this at the moment. We've got one leg up, two legs up to the MA. We've got one leg down, two legs down. I'm just wondering. I'd be interested in taking a short here. Let me get one ready. Let me just see. Market open, so I've got to be careful.
Order
What I don't
submitted.
want to get caught is in a quick movement. So I will carry on talking again in a second. We have one leg down, another leg down. I like the way it's touched. See what happens. Very carefully because it's market open time, so it might move quick. One leg, two leg, one leg. There's two legs up there. Let me have a look. Market is officially open. Let me just pull this into line. See if we can get a lower high. I'm not a fan of that one. I'd say this is a little break, and I'm expecting another leg down. So if we can push down some more. But we have bounced a couple of times off this. Yesterday's low, in fact, it's a tiny bit higher than that. I've locked it. I can't. Okay, I'll come back to it in the morning. Hold on a second. I'm expecting this other leg down, but what I am expecting is two legs down within it. So there's one. So if we can get a little bit of a pullback here, well, give us a pullback. I don't think he's going to give us one. We got one leg down, two legs down, plus we got a bigger leg down by the looks of things. I did look at that, but I didn't like it. I wouldn't be shocked if it comes down, pushes a bit higher before it comes down, but I certainly think we're going to make a new low, that's for certain. But I like either one of these two legs from here, one leg, two legs, or possible an overall couple of legs. See if we can get a pull back here. It's not going to give us one, is it? That's a shame. I did look at this, but it's not the best one. Never mind. Nah, it's just going to drop out, I think. Unfortunately. Oh well. It's frustrating. One leg, two legs, just no way in. If it had come back, I was hoping it'd come back and give us a maybe a lower high, but see if it still comes pull back to here, I don't mind because I'm thinking here or here. Certainly here first. Possibly here. So that we may get a redirection at 3992 down here. That's a shame. I was pretty confident we were going to make this second leg, especially as we'd worked our way back to the MA. Unfortunately, it wasn't a very good bar, although it was a second entry. First entry, second entry, but it was a bit of a doji and it was just a bit above. Although I do tend to take slightly more aggressive trades. Oh, that's what I read. What did I read? How about doing the same trading style you trade on an eval? Explain yourself there, mate. I'm interested in what your thoughts are there because I thought I did, but perhaps I don't. Explain that again, Sam. What's your thought process there, mate? One leg, two leg. One leg, two leg. Oh, let's not forget that's there. If we can get a pullback here, because short-term trend channel break, expect a new extreme, which is a new low. So if we can get up here, let's have a look. That is ticked above there, I think. Let me just check. No, it hasn't. Or has it? Yes, it has. Okay, looks like is that first entry? Looks like it. Possible bounce area. I expect either one of these to be hit, this one or this one. But we've had a break and we've made a new low, so I need to be aware of that as well. But I think you are less hesitant when taking trades on the eval when you see a high probability trade. Yeah, that may be right, mate, actually. It's hard sometimes for me. Sometimes it's easy for you to notice these things because sometimes when you're sort of out the box, if that makes any sense, you can okay, so less hesitant. Right, I'm trying to concentrate and read at the same time. I think you're less hesitant when taking on trades. You see high probability trades. Maybe. That may be the fact. I'll think about that one. Interesting. Right, I need to be careful of this. I'm expecting 2 legs. Doesn't mean to say when I get 2 nice measured legs. Okay, so we've had a break and a new high. So if we can get a lower high here, I'll be interested in taking a trade. Let's have a look. Yeah, you have to be able to swing every time you see a ball. Yeah, I thought I did, but perhaps I don't. I suppose it's only natural if you're on a PA account, you are going to be, your psychology is going to be slightly different, isn't it? So perhaps it is, but I'm not noticing it. I suppose that's the thing about psychology. It's so powerful, isn't it? And okay, so technically that's a new low. So that's a first entry. I want to be careful I don't get trapped to the long side here. Because I still like the idea of another leg. Maybe that one. So same again, it's not going to give us an option. I could have almost told you that was going to do that, but the trouble is it's not the right thing to do just to jump in it. Tick above there, come on. I want a lower high here, come on, give us a lower high. Okay, break new high. Give us a lower high, come on. I wouldn't mind coming down and retesting from the underside of this yesterday's low, actually. Let me just check that's right. Actually, it's a tick higher. That's okay. Right. Let's be careful now. We're not going to make another push up high. I don't want to be trapped going long either. I don't want to be trapped to the long side. Yeah, I suppose it's human nature, isn't it? Evaluations, I suppose I tend to be maybe a bit more aggressive on. I suppose most people do, because an evaluation is what it is, isn't it? It's a cheap. It's a cheap way to hit a PA account, isn't it? Yeah. I've got it in my head how much it's cost me, and I think that's playing a part, which is why what I might try and do is just get an account enough to take a payment, and then I've got some money to reinvest then. And that might not sound, it might not suit everybody, that, but I feel like I'd rather try and get some back before I put any more in, if that makes sense. So I'm going to concentrate on an evaluation, get it to a PA account, and then to 10 days, just above $2,600. Now you might say, well, there's not much left, isn't there? Well, no, that's so much not the point at the moment. The point is trying to get some of it back and having some more money to invest, because I'm just getting fed up of throwing money at it. I think it's a lot easier to maybe focus and target $2,600 in 10 days rather than the big bucks. If I can get a couple back, then I might not be so frustrated. And that might change my the way I look at it. Possible. Now that trend, as much as I was interested in going down and making a new low, which is still possible, I have to be aware that we may be working up. But the overnight low is here. So we've pushed through, we've tested the overnight low, so yeah, perhaps we are working our way up a bit. So let's get rid of that for a minute.
Order cancelled.
I'm definitely a little bit more aggressive on the evaluations. Right, okay. One leg up, two legs up. So I need to be aware it's possible 2 legs up, and then we come down some more, or we're moving up. Let's put that there. If we can come to here and then we start breaking out and retesting this, then I'll be thinking downside. So yeah, I just feel like I want to try and get some of my money back before I put more in. I know that's sounds a little bit backward a bit, but when you're constantly putting money in, it's clocking up in your head and it adds that bit of frustration. So I seem to be thinking too high. I seem to be thinking getting the account $6,000, $8,000, $10,000, $12,000 and making this, that and the other. So I'm just going to try and focus on 10 days and above 2,600. And then I'm going to stop trading that one account and make a withdrawal. By that time, I should have another PA coming online. So I'm going to do it 10 days at a time. So get onto a PA and then I can trade that 10 days. So when I'm trading that 10 days, I'll start another evaluation. So I'm just going to be one behind. So I should have one coming in, refreshing the next one. At least that way, hopefully, I should be able to take $2,000 a month. Which hopefully, if I get 3-2 payments, that will more or less get me back what I've invested into Apex. So I won't feel so damn frustrated then. Okay, so I don't think we're going up at the moment. I think it's likely we're coming down, which is I still fancy these legs, but I'll feel better when we push below yesterday's low. So push up, break, new high. I like the idea. I should do the same. See, at some point, DT, it's playing on my mind how much I've put into Apex. And I've put in about $7,000. Now, I've got about, a little bit over, say $7,500 now. I've got about $2,500 back. I had a payment and I've had a few months of affiliates. So I get some, obviously Apex. You guys, if you guys use my code, it doesn't cost you anything more, but Apex give me what's the word? Gone blank. Give me a little bit for it. Basically, they say, okay, you brought this customer, or he's used your code, blah blah blah. Kickback. That's what I'm thinking. So I just feel if I can concentrate on just getting some of it back instead of constantly aiming for big bucks, large accounts, it's just a different way of thinking. Now, if I'd have thought this yesterday, I'd have had 10 days, $2,700, so I could look forward to a payment. So if I can have one, if I stick with an evaluation now for the next, say, up to 10 days, and then I start a PA, and as soon as I start a PA, I start another evaluation. So as the PA grows, so does the evaluation. When I get the PA up to, hopefully, withdrawal, that other evaluation in the background should hit a PA. Then the PA that's hit over $6,000 in 10 days, I'll take that offline, put my withdrawal in and wait for that money. But as soon as I do that, I should have another PA account just starting, so that I can build that up. And as I start that, I'll then start another evaluation. So I've always got an evaluation 10 days behind. So hopefully the target is really just to try and get three $3,000 payments at least. Then, man with a plan. Well, that's me, mate. I just can't help but thinking a lot of my battles is with not so much the trading itself, but with the amount of money I've invested into it. So it's just a different way of looking at it. So instead of thinking bigger picture, $10,000, $20,000, 5 accounts with 2,000, I'm forgetting that. I'm just going to aim to get above $2,600 in 10 days. So a smaller target, if you like. So if I can aim for a smaller target, it should be less tough to get there, I think. Whether that makes any sense or not, I don't know, but it does to me. So bite-sized chunks, let's call it. But at least then, if I can get 3 $2,000 payments, I've got all my money back, and then I can start afresh. And hopefully I'll get rid of a lot of that frustration of giving away chunks of money, if that makes any sense. Probably doesn't, but I think some of you know what I'm doing. I had a chat with Nick anyway yesterday, and he gave me a little bit of a pick-me-up. So I appreciate that, Nick. I would say get a couple of guys or girls. Sorry, Angela. Get a couple of guys or girls that you click with, and help each other out with a little bit of supportive chat. Nick phoned me yesterday. I told him what happened, and he phoned me, and we had a nice 30-minute chat, and I felt better. I felt like a bit of a pickup. So it does help, because sometimes when you talk to someone else who goes through the same thing, it's quite an unusual type of job, this really, isn't it? It's so, when you can chat with someone who's been through the same thing, and I think Nick's about, sorry, actually, you know what I mean. But Nick's about 12 months ahead of me, so he's doing a little better than me now, but I had a chat with him yesterday, and I felt a bit better anyway, so all good. So yeah, absolutely. Find yourself a couple of people that you click with. When things get tough. Another guy I chat with as well is Marlon. I've been chatting with Marlon for about a year now. So it's nice to have a chat with people who feels your pain. Thanks, DJ. I'm glad you do. There is a method in my madness. It's just a way of getting some of your money back. And I think if you can do that, when I don't know, let's say you're trying to focus on something and you've lost $5,000 in the street. Once you walk around the street, everything you're thinking then, that's going to be on your mind. But if you walk around the streets and find your money back, you can calm down and start afresh, and things seem a bit calmer. So the plan is pass an evaluation to a PA. As soon as I start a PA, take out one more evaluation. So I'm constantly a week, 10 days behind, if that makes any sense. And then when I get the PA, focus on, $250 to $300 a day over 10 days, something like that. Get above 10 days, or get to 10 days, get above $2,600, and then withdraw $2,000. And then you've got a chunk of money to reinvest then. So I kind of like the idea. And I know, and then you might say, well, yeah, but you've only got $600. Well, I kind of don't mind if that goes, because at least I've got something. But what I can do on that one is then maybe move over to micros and just try and play it and see if I can build it back up. But the point being, I've got $2,000. And if I can do that 3 times in a row, I will feel so much better if I can get some of it back. So I apologise if I've just rabbited on for the last 20 minutes and bored you all to death, but you've got a volume switch. You can always switch me off. My wife's built up a skill now. She can just switch me off. So there you go. But yeah, absolutely, Nick. We're all in this together. Well, you are. You're certainly in a better psychological place than me, I think. But yeah, you are. I mean, you've got a year's experience on top of me, but you're very similar to me in a way. We're both mentally deranged. We choose to do this for a living. So it's nice to know I'm not the only crazy person out there. There's plenty here. Plus, you are getting an income from streaming going on. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. It's a $2,000 income for the next 3 months. I mean, I work weekends, I work Saturday, Sundays. I earn decent money, though. I get about £25 an hour for working, and I can do 12 to 15 hours if I want, so I can get a living from that. My wife earns, and I'll be honest with you, from the affiliate links, I'll be honest, I get $600 to $800 a month. So that helps as well. So that more than covers my I'll be honest. Some people might not tell you, but no, I'll be honest. For good or bad, but it helps. It'll top up that $2,000. It'll pay for the trading. So your husband and I both trade. Oh, how lucky you, Angela. I tried to get my wife to do it with me. In fact, the reason I started to get her to do it with me, so she would stop me revenge trading. But she didn't have a clue what I was doing anyway, so... And she was just sat there reading the book, looking really bored. But if both of you trade, that is good. Because you can support each other. You know, I did think about hiring a mate of mine to sit next to me with a big rubber hammer. And when I go to revenge trade, he just gives me a quick rap over the knuckles. Okay, now we are clearly moving up. I kind of like this as a second entry long. So,
order submitted.
Second entry long. I mean, we're clearly moving up at the moment. We touch once, touch 3 times, touch 4 times. As long as this breaks bullish above here, that's kind of a nice trade then. I mean, that channel has a break and a new low, so there's no argument there. 1 leg, 2 perfect legs down. See how this finishes. It might not. I think it might actually. 2 nice legs push up. No, it's not going to. I mean, I am aware that I'm thinking we may make another leg down. That's a shame, that one. That would have been lovely there. I can't take that one because it's an inside bar. Look at that, 1 leg, 2 leg. So this channel here is at a break and a new low. Touched it once, a couple of times there. There. I mean, from what I can see, it's not a fantastic looking trade. Trend. I think there's more than just an uptrend going on in there. We've had a push, a break, a couple of legs to a new high, and I think if anything, it may more be going sideways. I don't know. It doesn't look like a straightforward trend channel to me. Just with this bit here. There's some congestion there. Let me think about what's going on here. Yeah. Yeah, there's some congestion there. So we've had a push up. Push up. I think this actually might be coming down from here. I think this is a failure. Now, second entry. I'm just wondering whether there's... I think, from what I can see here, this is going to come down. And I'll tell you I might be wrong. It almost looks like a bit of a... We've had a push up sideways and a push up. 1 leg, 2 legs. I think this is coming down. Just from what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like a straightforward channel to me. I might be completely wrong, but... Have a look. It's like almost like 2 legs right to the nearest tick. Now let's see if it comes down.
Order cancelled.
I don't know what you guys think, but it's touching. We've had a break and a new high, but it's not a nice looking trend channel to me, which tells me I don't fancy it to keep going up. Let's have a look. Resistance. Also think of how long it would take us to build up the kind of capital. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the good thing is, if I can get three months of $2,000 back, I'm starting afresh then. And at least then, maybe then I will pick up 5 evaluations and try and run them at maybe five at a time. But I just can't do that at the moment because I've just thrown so much money in there. So I kind of like the way it gets me back to feeling a bit fresh again, like I've finally got some of it back, because you are aware of how much money it's cost you. And I think it's about $7,000 I've put into Apex, but I've got about 2.5 to 3 back, say 2.5. So if I can get 2 to 3 payments, I'll feel like I haven't thrown it away, and I feel like I've got some of it back, and it won't play as much as a part of it does at the moment. So the evals PA take me 6 to 12 months. I'm still ahead of the game. We can stack these accounts. Yeah. Okay, 2 to 3 years. At least for me after paying all my bills. Yeah. Yar. Okay. See what I mean about this? I think it's coming down. And what just get rid of that at the moment. Got a couple of legs up there. Let me just see. Doesn't look like it. Looks more like a NAF trade. We've had a push up, sideways push up again. I think this is coming down more. I do. It just doesn't look like a nice channel to me. It's a bit congested. I might be wrong. And when I say that, when I say I think it's coming down, it's just what I think. I'm not trading based on it. I'll only trade on what I can see. But it just looks messy. Crap and messy. But I won't be surprised if there's some longs trapped there. So I think if it can get below it, yeah, it might have a strong push down. So I'll see. Makes sense to me. Thank you. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. News in 4 minutes. Oh, right, yeah. Forgot about that. I don't trade anyway. No, me neither. I traded the news once. I had a 2-point stop and it shot through me that quick. It ended up, the stop closed 7 points below. Well, it was a 2-point stop. It was 5 points below. So that's the thing, is when you have these really quick movements down, they can often take a lot more than your stop. Some of these times where you get trapped as well. Oh, it's so frustrating. I got trapped the other week and it shot down. Okay, so no trades anyway. Bring your channel down to the lowest points. Which one? The bigger one or the small one? You know about this one here? You must be. You know about are you on about a spiking channel? Trouble is, the less of a no, I don't like that. The less of a steeper angle it is, the less reliable it is. This is more of a range to me, actually. Oh, I can't tell you how bad I felt yesterday. Physically sick, I've got to say. When it happened, I was just disbelief. I could have just given myself a right slap. If we can break down here, then I would say then we may get quite a sharp push down. Hey, Tyler, how you doing? How your account's holding up? Fantastic, mate. Absolutely glowing. I think you can work out what I mean just by that comment, can't you? No, I had a tough day yesterday, mate. Made some stupid mistakes. So not so good. That's all I'm willing to say. I've just been blabbering on about it for the last 30 minutes. Okay, news in about 30 seconds. You guys are about 12, 15 seconds behind me, I think. 20 points. The NQ short. Good for you, mate. Bad day yesterday. Been there, done that. Yep, haven't we all, mate? I wish. Have you got any budding computer programmers out there that could make something that can attach to NinjaTrader, so that if you've lost, say, a specific amount, it won't let you trade for 12 hours? Now, there's probably something you can. I don't think it will be difficult to do. Imagine being able to set amount so that if I lost, say, $500 between now and the end of the day, it doesn't let me trade until the market officially opens. Yeah, okay. I thought if we get below there, we might have quite a strong push down. So I'd say that's where I'm expecting now. Push down, correction, push down. So that, I would say, would possibly be that. We'll see. Okay, news has happened. See, I kind of like that short. I do. It's a little bit too far away EMA for me, but yes, I did, mate. Yeah, I did. I was physically sick yesterday. Well, I felt physically sick. It's horrible. I took a failure. We popped above the range, and I took a failure about an hour before the stream. Check with Rhythmic. It's out there. It is. You can do that in Rhythmic, but the trouble is there's nothing stopping you going back in and just cancel it, which takes 10 seconds. And while you're in the middle of that, those emotions, it needs to be it needs to take longer than 10 seconds. But if you could, thanks, Tyler. If you could attach something to NinjaTrader or Rhythmic that would say, if you take a $500 loss, which would stop you trading for 12 hours, I kind of like that. Maybe not. That would stop you trading for 12 hours, or maybe till the next official open. That would be worth its weight in gold. I'd say 2 losses, but sometimes if you scratch a trade and it hits your loss, it'll count as a loss. Or let's say 0 profit. There's got to be something. Yeah, you can go into NinjaTrader and do it, and it'll if you put, say, $500, even if you're in a trade, it'll kick you out of that trade if it hits minus $500, but then you can just go back into it and cancel it, and it takes seconds. I've done it before. But if there's something out there that you could just stop, say, and just say until the end of the day, till the market officially closes at the end of the day, or the ES officially closes at the end of the day, if you can come up with something like that, that would be really useful. I'd like to say I paid a lot of money for it, but just in case there is any budding programmers out there that might do it and charge us a fortune. Email Apex, it has to be done through your broker. I can't see how Apex will allow you to do that, because they make a ton of money off you blowing your account. And their answer might be, if you haven't got the mental strength to be able to control it, then we're not going to do it for you. So that's what I would say they would likely say. I could be wrong. But I've not heard anybody mention that. Especially, I mean, the broker doesn't even come into it, does it? If you're only trading a PA account, you're not physically trading a live account. It's still a demo account up until after, I believe, the first 3 months where they move you on to a physical live account. I just can't see Apex doing that for you. I'm not saying they want you to fail, but that it's part of their program, isn't it? That they have X amount of failures, they pay X amount of money. Because if you're on a PA account and you've got 10 PA accounts and you withdraw $20,000, they pay you out their own pocket. It's only when you get past those 3 months that I think they look then into putting you onto a live account, a live funded account. But it is only a demo at the moment, so money comes out of their pocket. I'm going to remove that at the moment. Prop firms, less control. Yeah. I mean, it's a fair comment if they say, well, hold on a minute, if you can't even control your own emotions, why shouldn't we do it for you? It's a valid, it's a valid point. You know, if we've got to get the market to physically don't let us trade because we can't control ourselves, it's not, you know, it's not a good trait, is it? Oh. Yeah, I didn't think that was a channel, really. It didn't look right. It's more of a range. Chat, maybe try eval company that sets a max. Trouble is, when they set max loss per day, that closes your account, doesn't it? They'll say, I know I did it. Was it earn to trade? Max loss $800 a day. If you hit $800, that's it. Your account's blown. So they don't. No one I know will put something in place that you can't trade till tomorrow. So I wouldn't have thought it would be difficult to come up with a piece of software that does it. I don't know. I don't know how happy Apex will be about that, because would it save a lot of people blowing accounts? Okay, push up, break new high. Am I thinking about shorty? And not at the moment. That's played out, so I have to be aware that that channel is played out. Tick trade, a new profit of a max loss per day. They don't move even when. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure, Chad, it blows your account if you're at your max loss a day. That's why Apex don't do it. I mean, it's the psychological side. There's no two ways about it. And at some point, you know, it's okay using these crutches to aid and assist you, but if really you're going to have a future as a trader, you have to learn to be able to manage them. I believe it happens in time. I think the more you just keep doing it, sooner or later it gets in your head that if you're just throwing money at this and taking stupid risks, it just does not work. But yeah, it's tough. I kind of like my strategy to try and focus on getting some money in first, because the more you trade and the more accounts you blow, you can sort of see them clocking up in your head how much it's costing you. So instead of me thinking too large scale, I'm just going to think $2,000 at a time and get some of it back. If I can get a few payments back, 3 $2,000 payments back, I'll be in the green with Apex, so I won't feel quite so frustrated about having a go then. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's a tough old battle. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Nick. It's just a way of getting something back, isn't it? Because I mean, for the last, well, I've been trading Apex now for about 14 months on Apex. And it's constant give, isn't it? And it'd just be nice to get something back. And I know it's not a good long-term strategy, because if you're taking all your money out, but at least you've had $2,000 and you've still got $600 in the account, maybe go down to one contract and try. It'll be a lot easier trading that. You'll probably do it a lot more careful because you realise you've made some money out of it. So I think it might help your psychology a little bit, that you're not so frustrated that it's give. It's also thinking on a smaller scale as well. So I'll give it a go anyway. But if I'm sat here next week crying, it didn't work. And I've typed out some new rules this morning anyway. So maximum 3 hours maximum of 3 hours trade in any daily session. Never return to trade after a session is finished and closed for the day. Maximum 3 trades to be taken during any market session. Finish session, move on to a demo after 2 winning trades in succession. End trading immediately after 2 losses during any trading day. Strategies: never pick tops or bottoms. Wait for confirmation of a higher low or lower high. Trades to be taken: second entry long, second entry short. Failures: lower highs, higher lows. Triple tests may be taken with precise setup, but always with caution. What else have I got here? Large signal bars above 4 points should be taken with a limit order if possible. You notice I put should and then if possible. Probably can. Always take trades that you believe to be a valid setup. 5-minute break and reflection should be taken after any trading loss. 2 contracts to be traded on individual $50,000 accounts, where $50,000 accounts where profit reaches $50,000 or more. Can increase contracts to 3. In fact, I printed all that out before I blew the account, so probably just broke half a dozen rules yesterday. I've almost welded it to the side of my. I've used sticky tape and literally band-aided it to the back of my screen. It doesn't look good at the back, I've got to tell you. Yeah, I thought over the weekend I'm going to take it a little bit more seriously, write out some proper strategies, and it all went tits up yesterday. Didn't I feel stupid? Oh well. Looking bullish. It is, isn't it? So short and trend channel break 2 pushes up to a new high. Let's see what goes on here. Let's see if it works anyway. So, day one anyway. You should tattoo these, right? I should do, mate, should I? On the inside of my eyelids so I can just shut my eyes and... Yeah. It's amazing how... It seems like it's going to be easy, but the psychology just cripples you. It seems like it's going to be so easy, doesn't it? I don't get it. Yeah, it just goes to show how powerful emotions are, doesn't it? See, I thought I'd been married for 20 years. I thought I'd be brilliant when it comes to psychology. All the physical, all the mental tests I've had being married, you'd think you'd breeze it, wouldn't you? It don't work. Let's have a look at this. It is looking bullish, isn't it? I thought possibly a second entry long off here, but technically that has played out, hasn't it? We've had a break, 2 pushes up to a new high. So I think a second entry long off here might not be the most sensible trade. Taking a long with a small risk. That's another issue with evaluations because they're so damn cheap. Not that I want them to put the price up, but they're so cheap. It's so easy, isn't it? Just to think, oh, I've taken 2 bad trades. I'm $600 down. Sod it. Let's go all in. So easy. Yeah, absolutely, Indy. Yeah, I know. Go figure. In fact, I did look at hypnosis, but I phoned this guy up and asked him. He went, I might be able to help you. I can't guarantee it's going to work. And he said he'd need about 3 sessions, and that was another £500. And I just thought, I just cannot bring myself to putting any more money into it, which is why I've decided to try and get some of it back. My target is 3 $2,000 payments. If I can do that, I feel like I'll be starting fresh with a fresh mind, fresh bank balance. Who said they took a small risk here? Worked, I think, isn't it? I just wasn't sure at the moment. After this, it's hard to know exactly what it's going to do. I mean, it could be sideways. So you think after a big push down, we might have a correction followed by another push down. But that might not be the case. It might generally be moving up. And there lies the problem. It's not always that easy. Take fact, may even find you get a couple of legs there. It's sort of 2 legs, isn't it? But that might be 2 legs within a 2 legs within a bigger 2 legs. Yeah, 1 or 2 people have said over the last couple of months that I should stop streaming. It's affecting me trading. Well, actually, in the 4 months I've been streaming, I've only actually blown 1 account while I've been streaming. I've done some of my best trading. It's always when I either trade before I stream or trade after I stream where I have the problems, which tells me I think I'll be crippled without streaming, which is not a problem. You can always stream, can't you? You know, it doesn't matter whether you've got 50 people here or 2 people watching you. The fact is that people are watching you and you're less likely to do something stupid. So you've got that in the back of your mind that people are watching you and you don't know who. Now, I remember a guy I've spoken to in the past, Daniel. He's helped me in the past with tips and advice. And I know I had a bad day once, and he sent me a message saying, I can't believe he did that. And I felt more gutted that he saw it than actually blowing the account itself. So, you know, there's a lot of guys that come forward and talk, and obviously there's a lot in the background that don't. So, I scream all the time. I felt like it, mate. I have, but no, you just don't know who's in the background actually, and that can sometimes help keep you on the straight and narrow. You never know. Could be Mac himself. You never know. But no, Daniel said to me, he said, mate, you need some help. I thought the trading's not so much my problem; it's the psychological side. He said some of the trades you took were bad, and I messaged him saying that's not the normal trades I take. It was the emotions got the best of me, and I jumped in, and it was the time that I'd blown the account live on stream, where it had a more like a complete meltdown. I think, leader loser, your stop's just been taken, isn't it? I think, mate. I'm assuming you moved it up here somewhere, didn't you? Yeah, it was just gutting that he was watching me. It wasn't the fact that I'd lost the money. Yeah, it's the one and only day I've actually had a complete meltdown. I think I moved my stop, didn't I? I just moved my stop. Until, yeah. But I've only done that once in the 4 months I've been streaming. I've probably done it once a day when I'm off stream. So it's definitely helping me streaming. It's definitely keeping me more straight. I'm just wondering whether... Let me just remove some of this mess. I'm going to be careful here. Let's have a look. See, that to me looks kind of like a trend channel. There's a break. 1, 2 pushes up to new high. Yeah, I've got to be careful. I'm not thinking about going along here because, I mean, there is a smaller a channel there, but you notice how it goes a bit sideways and does the same again. And that actually fits quite nice in there. So I think that's valid, actually. So the break and the new high, I'm not expecting to make a new high because we've already done it. In fact, whichever way you look at it, even if you take it as a short-term trend channel. Let's have a look. Yeah. Break new high. Blood got taken out. So that has officially played out. So yeah, so I don't know whether I'm bearish or bullish at the moment. After we've had this and we've sort of had a correction, it's obviously possible we could go lower. This channel's obviously played out. And then we strongly came down. So I don't know whether we're going to end up doing something like this. I like putting those in sometimes. Because when price action follows them, kind of makes you feel like you know what you're talking about. Let's make it a bit fainter. Okay, that's played out. That's a lower high. Do I want to go short here? Not just yet. Because that was the market open and that's bounced straight off it. In fact, let's get rid of this a minute. It's bounced straight off it. see, it's sort of sideways, isn't it? This really could be sort of a bit of a failed breakout as well. What bar is that? It's 9 ticks, isn't it? Maybe I'll take a
Order
limit
submitted.
order. We've had one leg down. That's played out. We've had one leg down. Maybe as we get another leg down to the bottom. Let's put a limit order. See if it can.
Order filled.
Okay, I've lowered the risk a bit there. Let me get rid of these. Okay, one leg down, break, lower high. Another leg down will take us back into this range and down below. That's played out. That's a lower high, one push down. I like it a bit closer, but the fact that it's pushed in and it's bounced back off that inner line there. But it has bounced a couple of times off the open there. So if we can get through that open, it's not a massive risk. It's a 2-point risk, so I can live with that. Just need to close below this open, and I think then we're good for a little bit down. It's definitely sideways, and it's working off this bottom. Now we've had this, yeah, see what happens. We've had this push out the bottom and a push out the top, so even if we can get a couple of points out of it, we'll see. Need to get below here. There's quite probably going to be some longs in there, so if we can push down below here, you're long, are you? Oh, I'm not long, I'm south. I'm short, I am. That's played out, see, and we've pulled back into here. I like the way we've pulled back in, retested the top and finished bearish. I am aware that that was the open, but if we can get below here, I fancy that to come down a bit. I'll see. This may be a failure, hopefully. It doesn't tick above here. We'll see. Push down, try go once, try go twice. Also, it's a second entry long, so if it triggers below here, which is where I want it to, then I feel we're going to come down then. Second entry long, possible trap. Come on, come down. I believe we've come out. We're due to come down. We'll see. Come on, below here. There's almost definitely going to be some longs in there. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Mac did tell me he talks to his trade sometimes. Perhaps it's worth a try. Come on. Come on. At least finish on its low. Come on. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's also a nice failure as well. Lovely failure. Just where I like it. I expect it to come now down here somewhere. So, one leg. Where could we come? Right where I've put that. Let's take that up just a fraction. It's a nice failure, actually. It's a very nice failure. The only place it can come down really is here. Stalling a bit, isn't it? It's in fact, I'm going to leave that. Let's leave it. Let's leave it. Let's leave it where the failure was. Can't make me a bit nervous. And bearish. Come on. Bit more. Down a bit more. Down a bit more. Come on. I might have to get out of this. Hopefully, if it drops below here, come on, get on, you git. There we go. There we go.
Target filled.
Perfect. Lovely. Sometimes you just got to have a bit of confidence, isn't it? I like that one, the fact that we've popped out. See, sometimes I jump in a bit early and get out a bit early, and sometimes I'm thinking, well, one leg, two legs, where's it likely to come down here? So it's certainly a lot easier to leave those when you're on an evaluation than it is to leave it on a peer account. As soon as I'm on a peer account, I'd have shit myself around about here from the midline. In fact, when it came back up like this, sometimes it does that though. I see so many trades that Mac will take here and it'll come up and touch right exactly the same level. Thank you. Thanks. Sometimes you just got to leave it. So many times though, I've come out of trades easy and sometimes you've got a bit of a... But I keep trying to listen to the gorilla guy saying, don't, what does he say in his accent? Don't touch your stop. Leave it. So, okay. So I just like the way we pushed down, strongly pulled back, retested these tops and closed right on its low. And after we're doing sideways, see, I'm still thinking bearish at the moment personally, but that's just my thoughts anyway. So we'll look where it went in the end. What did I get out of it? Yeah, ignore that. Let's move that out of the way, actually. That doesn't look good, does it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6.5 points. So when you see it go up all of a sudden, that means I've just gone short. Oh, look at that. Wow, I didn't expect that. Well, I say I didn't expect that. I have said that I think we may make another leg down. I just didn't. It's typical, isn't it? But to be honest with you, if it had gone down a bit slower, I may have moved my thing down a bit more. But obviously, it went quick in the end, didn't it? So I didn't. I didn't really have a chance. So that's where I would say it's likely to go. Oh. Yeah, so from now on, guys, it'll be 3 hours maximum, which will take us, got about another hour and 45 minutes. What happened the other day is, generally I perform okay on the stream. When I say I perform okay, I don't mean I take great trades. What I mean is I tend to not do anything too stupid. But I think it was the Thursday or Friday, we'd gone about 3.25 hours, and I remember saying do you remember I went about $750 up, then lost $300, so I was down about $350. Now, although $350 on an account isn't too bad for a day's work, I wanted to try and get the money back, and I was looking at going long, and I remember saying, I'm trying to go long here, I'm trying to look for an option. And it just dawned on me what I was saying, that I was trying to force something. So then I thought, actually, I'm aware now, I'm tired, and I'm trying to force something. So that made me think that I think 3 hours is long enough. So yeah, so what I want to start doing is maximum 3 hours a day. I think 3 hours is enough. It just although 3 hours doesn't seem like a long time, but when you're trading, it's quite stressful trading, especially this style of trading. So it's probably good to limit it. So yeah, one of my new rules. So that's a lower high, wasn't it? Yeah, one of my new rules is just to maximum. Where so that was a lower high. Yeah, see that's $650 there, minus fees. It's a good day's work, really, isn't it? Just one trade. See, there are times as well that I've taken 2 trades in the same push. That one I liked as well. In fact, I preferred that one to that one. When that one appeared, that's what led me to bring me stop back up and let it run. Because that, to me, was the better trade. We'd had one push down, tried to go once, tried to go twice. I love the way it finished. There was also a possible second entry long there, which had trapped. So I think below here, taking an engulfing trade below here was good for me. And obviously then we had that little push back up, which made me soil me underwear a touch. But I nearly got out here, but then I'm just thinking that's a good bar. It's a good buy. It might be having a bit of a pullback just because of this. But if you take a good trade, a lot of times it will come back. But if you notice, it never comes back quite as high. In some cases, it'll come back and make matching highs. But if the trend's good and everything's working fine, a pullback is not such a scary thing, because if you look, it's still a little bit lower. So if I'd have just kept my stop there, or even there, after we've had this, see, I'm quite happy to bring that down 2 ticks, because that obviously, if it does go south, it's 2 ticks I've lost less. So sometimes you just got to believe in what you're doing and what you're seeing. And I know sometimes what I did over the weekend is I went back over the last trades I took, and I worked out how many points profit I got and how much the market actually went. And I think out of 10 trades, 8 of them would have made 5 or more points. In a lot of cases, I think about 7 of them would have made 6 points. So sometimes it's even, good to just go for 1 to 2. Risk 1 to make 2 and just leave it. But obviously, you've got to be quite confident you know what you're doing. possible second entry short off here. It's took off the first couple of swings, isn't it? So this is more or less in this. This is a swing to me, so I've put it there, touched it there. So this possible second entry short. I still like the fact that we're going to do this, but what I am aware of, there's sideways here, and we pushed out the top and we came in. So this could possibly, I don't think it is. There's a second entry short there, but it's a bit congested. It's a big old bar, and I wouldn't be shocked if it triggered you. I think it will come down, but it's not. It's a little bit too close for comfort from the EMA for me. Sorry, I missed a couple of comments there. How is your progress on the PA accounts? Not so good. Not so good. I'll let you with the rest. The rest of that. Is your trailing threshold locked? Trailing threshold. Threshold. Is my trailing threshold locked? I'm not sure what you mean there. Do you mean with Apex? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean there. Is it locked? Trailing threshold. We don't so much have a trailing threshold, do we? We have. In fact, I don't mind Apex. A lot of people say they don't like it with Apex, but it doesn't. It moves, but as soon as you go within the red, it stays where it is, and it doesn't start moving until you go back in the green. I think that's what you mean. For 50,000, it locks. Sorry, yes, it locks on 50,100. So you've got to get it to 52,600. Now, if you've done that and you've traded for 10 days, correct, yeah, and that's where it stays. So if you take a $2,000, which I expect to do now, I say that after 10 days, I could be on $3,000. You know, that's feasible as well. So it's not necessarily that I'm going to be on 2,600, but I'll take a $2,000 payment. At least I'm getting something while I'm struggling, and that'll leave me $600. I can go on to one contract or maybe 5 micros if I want to play the rest of that account out. But the plan is when that account reaches $10,000, the evaluation I started when I first went onto a PA account should be ready for a PA account. So I should constantly have one back in the next one up. Okay, so second entry short, lower high. I don't like where either of those are really. Although if this finishes bearish, I can't see any other way bar down. Try to go once, try to push. I still pushed up, and it's come back down sharpish, and same again. I do think that we're likely to make a measured leg, but it's a big old bar, and I've just made $650. I think I'll be dumb to take that personally. I'm not saying if you trade that you're dumb, but from my point of view, when I'm up a nice bit on the day, I try not to do something stupid. Excuse me a second, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Watching for the next 5 minutes. Close now. Wanted 5 minutes close. Oh, I got you. Okay, let's have a look at this. This looks like it could be one leg, two leg. In fact, did you notice when we were up here, I drew this bigger channel? Do you remember? And what I did is I went into it and I took it down from dulled it down, didn't I? Do you remember? Just goes to show sometimes if you draw these, these market will just fit if you know. Ooh, I like that. One leg, two leg. Okay, so one push, two push. So that is going to go up an extra tick, isn't it? 2 ticks. So that would be the measured leg. One leg, two leg. One leg, two leg. It's actually a failure. There's a new high. Trying to go once, trying to go twice. Let's get an order ready, see how it finishes.
Order submitted.
Two perfect legs up. I'm not going to short there because that's a doji, but I think it's likely. I still like this, the idea of this measured move. See if it gives us a lower high. Also reversal. I still expect it to give us a new low from this. But to me, this done half look like 2 legs down. See how that works. Yeah, see, that's a possibility, that is. I like it. It's probably a little bit too early to put it in there because it would affect your decision making. But I would say there's a good chance it could end up looking like that at the end of the day. So if it's like this, one leg, two leg, I'd be interested in going short. But I'd kind of like it to retest the bottom of this. So let's remove that for a minute. And what also I've got to be careful of is just sometimes when you make money, I hit that $650. Sometimes you start to feel, ooh, I'm doing well here. I know what I'm doing. Just because I was pretty confident it was coming back to there doesn't mean I'm right here. So that's the trouble sometimes. It can affect. Actually, possible second entry short here. There's the low, there's the new low, possible second entry short. If this finishes very bearish, yeah, sometimes it can affect your decision making when you win. Winning sometimes can be just as detrimental as losing. That's tempting. What I don't want to do, first entry, second entry. Let's see if it triggers first, and then maybe I'll take a lower high. But if it triggers, it's a possible failed second entry short. And I reckon there'll be some shorts there which may get trapped. So if it goes up and takes them out, it wasn't meant to be short. But if it comes down and makes a lower high, then I'm thinking lower. Yeah. Actually.
Order cancelled. Order submitted.
One leg, two leg. perfect measured leg up. A breakout of the channel. I'm expecting a new low. But I'm not prepared to take that because first entry, second entry, failure. It's possible that could push up and take out these shorts, which is why I didn't want to get in there. Now, if that finished really bearish below the EMA, then I may have gone short there. But for me, this is just a channel with a break and I'm expecting a new low. If this goes above here, which means it's triggered the failure, then I may take a lower high down here, see what happens. It'll either break above there and take out the shorts, or it'll come down here and take out the guys in the failure. I think it's likely to come down just because of the... Yeah, I like that. See how this finishes. Just going to blow it up a bit. Because if anybody's gone long, they've new low, trying to go once, try twice, they've taken that trade as a failure, which is triggered. So if it comes down and breaks below here, it'll take them stops out and it will create a lower high. Trouble is, if it does come below there, it might do it quickly. Fact,
Order cancelled.
What I'm going to do, quick, open. I want a bar open. Open. Get open.
Order submitted. Order filled.
That was frustrating. Okay, lower high. If it breaks below here, it'll trap them failures. I just hope it's not a double trap. Come on. Come below here. In fact, I may get out of this. No, leave it. To break, I'm expecting a new low. I need to get below here though. Just in case there's a failure stops there. Go on, push down. Come on. Push down. Push down. Ooh. This is a failure now. There we go. That's good. Come on, get down. Get down. Get down. Come on. I'll try and get out of this. Come on, give us a failure. Got to go lower after this, surely after this. We need to get below here because there's possible failed second entry shorts there. If it gets below there, come on, get down. Stalling a bit, I don't like that. I don't like what's going on there. If it breaks below there, let's give it an extra bit. If it breaks below, I don't mind. Get below here, and then I'll put my stop back. Come on, finish bearish. Okay, that's a failure. Let's put it back where it is then. It just needs to get below here. I think that's good for going short, surely. Trigger below, come on. Great. There we go. So I'm going to put mine there, lower the risk. There's the fail second entry, the failure. I nearly got out of that. Still might a bit, actually. Come on. Okay. Happy days. I'll leave that back here. In fact, I'm going to leave it at the failure because I think we may get a decent push down here. I still expect another leg. It's only a point risk if I leave it there as the failure. This finishes bearish, then I'll put it at break even. It's an inside bar anyway, so I don't expect too much from it. Come on, get it. It's going to take me out, I think. Just going to leave it there anyway. It's only a point risk. It is frustrating when you see that big move down. It's a failure. Let's leave it there.
Stop filled.
Okay. I'm not too bothered about that, actually. I'm not too bothered. I think the trade was good. I expected a new low. It didn't make it. Oh, well. See what happened if I'd have left it there. That's a shame. Went down 3 points, didn't it, or something? 4 points? 3 points? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well. It's surprising, that is, I've got to say, after these and after this. Oh, well. Maybe I should have jumped out. Trouble is, if you jump out... What was it? It was my order about there, wasn't it? My order was here. So, yeah, it wasn't a huge amount anyway, was it? Oh dear. That is unusual that it's done that. You don't often say that. I mean, this clearly was a break. We had a break. 1, 2 pushes up. Bearish bar, but above the EMA. Then we had a lower high. Pretty bearish. And we had a fairly pretty bearish. That's unusual. Oh, well. That was only 1 point risk, so I can live with that. That's the good thing about moving it down from there to the failure. Yeah, so it made 2 points. So if you'd been taking 2 points of that, sometimes it's not always going to, is it? Yeah, it went down to about 2. So you'd have squeezed maybe... You'd have got 2.2 points. See, I'm okay sometimes with losing that because I thought the trade was okay. And sometimes I'm not going to get the big move. You know, if I'd have been taking 2 points and I'd have taken 2 points there... but I didn't. I held on and got an extra 4.5. So theoretically, I've got myself the equivalent of 3 lots of profit on that trade. So sometimes it's not going to work, and it was only a point risk. Now it might even break. Well, it might do, but I'm always careful of doing that because that looked like a great bar to go short. But the fact is, we held here and then we had that big bullish bar. So sometimes, and I've done this myself, I've got frustrated, so I've jumped in and gone short again, and it's triggered me and pushed up. So I try and not do it now, because, see, frustratingly enough, that's where I took the trade. So if I'd have left my stop there, I'd have got something out of this. But because I lowered my risk down to here for the failure, I ended up getting taken out. But the difference between there and there is a point. So, I mean, if I'd have come out here anyway, what would I have got? I'd have panicked and probably come out here anyway. So I'd have probably got a point, something like that. But it's okay. It's all good. I stop at 3. Yeah. So it was only a point risk. It's not a problem. $100 minus fees. I can live with that. So it just means that other one was only worth, let's say we take a point off, it's 5. It's 5.25 points minus fees. That's all right for a day's work. That it's a shame actually. I thought that was okay. I thought after this push, still expecting a measured move. I thought that would have come down strongly, but sometimes things don't always go to plan. Especially after we come up and sort of retested these bottoms and we had that, the lower high, and then the failure. I thought that was a winner. So, and not only that, we had 2 perfect measured leg up right to the nearest tick, and then the lower high. Oh, I didn't expect that. So it depends how you've drawn this channel as well. I've gone from the top to the first swing, which is here. So I think the chart looks okay to me. Sometimes channels don't always make sense, but see, now this could be, instead of 1 leg, 2 legs, it could be 1 leg, 2 leg. Now that, close the nearest tick. Could be 2 legs. Yeah, I'm not getting involved here at the moment. It's just a bit uncertain to me. What time is it now? Wonder if. I wonder if that will play a part at some point. Yeah. Don't forget, guys, the Oh, tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, midnight tomorrow, the 80% off finishes. So if you're in the market for one, that's my code. If you use it, it's appreciated. Okay. Yeah, it's surprising how round numbers make a difference, isn't it? Actually, that's a lower high, wasn't it? I'll put that there now and just see if that does work its way up to it. I'm just going to faint it down a little bit. In fact, let's go and find out what Max got for us. Okay. Had a push down. It does seem like we've had 2 pushes up, doesn't it? This is played out. Things are definitely looking bearish. Big strong push down correction. Big strong push down correction. And when we had that push down, the correction was across and up, wasn't it? Same again, across and up. So let's see if we can get something like a lower high down here, maybe. Wow. Max got that like that, that like that. He's got a bit of an uptrend here. I drew that, but it looked a bit messy. His channel is... Oh, he's drawn his channel from here. From there. Yeah. He's drawn that like that. Yeah, he's drawn his like that. Oh no, tell a lie, he hasn't. Yeah, we're way ahead. We're way ahead of him. It fits nice along there. Yeah, sorry, he's got this one. And that. And he's got a small channel up here. Yeah, he's only up to about here now, to be honest with this. Yeah. Why draw it like what? Like what I've got it now? Well, touching here. I put it really just out of interest to see if it does come up here, but I mean, no doubt things are looking bearish at the moment. We had a push down correction, push down correction. I'm expecting another push down. I put it there just out of interest to see if so we've had a shots and trend trying to break new high. Push down, see if we can have a lower high here. It's got my day done shutting down. Thanks to see. Excellent. Thank you. Thanks, Angela. Nice for you to come and chat to us. You're welcome anytime. Have a great day. Nice to get some ladies in with us. It does seem quite a male-populated business for some reason, doesn't it? But in fact, I think sometimes ladies will be better because sometimes guys can be a little bit gung-ho, can't we? We tend to dive in and sometimes ladies can be the stabilising factor. So they may do a better job than us. No, it's correct. Oh, no, sorry. All it was is I got Mac's chart. I checked what chart Mac had drawn, and he'd drawn it differently, but he hadn't. He'd only actually, he was only up to here, so I put it back. Yeah, pleasure. Thank you so much. You're welcome. You're welcome. Nice to have some ladies in the group. Yeah, I often think ladies might make better traders because we're a little bit too gun-headed, aren't we, guys? Sometimes we're a little bit too, we'll dive in without thinking sometimes. And sometimes girls can be a little bit calmer, a little bit more sensible, shall we say. I have tried talking to my wife about trading, and she looks like she's listening. She does a very good job in looking like she's listening, but she's not really. Okay, let's see if this comes to the top of here. I reckon it will. Whether it gets there or not, let's have a look. Oh God, that might get a bit higher. Yeah, get rid of that. Boom, yeah, let's see. Now I think, personally, one leg up, two legs up. I find it hard to want to reason why anyone would want to buy here. We've had this push break. We didn't make a new low yet. Doesn't mean to say we're not. Does look like we've had some pushes, but I would say here, I prefer to break a little bit above that, but I can't see. Obviously, it depends which way you look at it. Might be a great reason to buy there. I mean, traders are aware we've had this one push down and we look like we may get another one. This to me doesn't look a great place to buy, but it does depend. No, I can't see our range in there. In fact, let's get rid of that. Yeah, it's gone up a little higher. See what happens now. Does seem like a couple of pushes, doesn't it, that? I was hoping we'd break a little bit higher there, maybe touch this and then come down bearish. Yeah, absolutely. Your strategy obviously makes a difference. Time frame as well. But funny enough, I watched Marco. He did that. He recorded his trade, and it was obviously the opposite way around. We were going up, and he took a short right at the top of an uptrend. And his theory was that why would anyone want to buy up there? And it came down lovely. But obviously he only trades for 6 ticks. So 6 ticks is easier to accomplish than maybe, you know, the 12 to 16 I tend to go for. You'll not use... Oh, do you not? Ah, interesting. It's just weird how it's just gone right up there. That one's closed on it, right on the line, and that one's closed right on it. So I would say we're almost certainly coming down to the EMA. Yeah, I mean, Marco's trade was almost buy-in here. And he put his... which I thought was interesting, but it works. And when you think about it, the way he explained it was common sense. Why would anyone want to buy right at the top of a trend channel? But I could completely have it all wrong. I used to use Pats, and unfortunately, I don't have my faith in it. Do you know, I actually think it's great. When you look at it, how it works, and when you look back over it, it really works well. So, for instance, if you look at this, we've had a short term, we've had this trend channel, we had a break new high, pushed down below the EMA, trying to go low one, trying to go low once, trying to go once, trying to go twice, failed. Second entry long as well, which triggered, and then it came down beautifully. So when you actually look through it and look through it properly, it actually really does work. Now, you might say, well, why don't we make a new low here? Which is a good question, but I'm guessing it's a bit of a messy trade, this In fact, the only one I would say would be for sure is that short-term trend. So technically, we've had a break and a new low, really. Which is probably why, well, in fact, if you think about it, still made 2.5 points, didn't it, that one? And that one made 2 points, so it worked. Unfortunately, I tend to go for a few more points, or at least to the low, which it didn't do that time, but short-term trend channel break, new high. It really works well. So there was a short-term trend channel with a break and a new high, plus 2 separate legs with a break and a new high. So when you look at it, it's actually very accurate. Short-term trend channel, break, new high, lower high. Not the best signal bar, but signal bar nonetheless. One leg I expected, another leg down, came down beautifully. I think it's as good as any other. I think it's as good as any other. Depends. I mean, I've been doing it. It'll be 2 years in June, so I've been studying it religiously. I haven't looked at any others, and I know when I first started trading currency, Andrew Lockwood, who's a 35-year veteran, worked for lots of big city banks. He told me, find a strategy that you're confident works and stick to it religiously. But what a lot of people do is, and I'm not saying you do it, lead and loser, but he told me what a lot of people do is they'll try one trade for a few months, find out it doesn't work, really move on to another strategy and move on to another strategy. They tend to do that a lot. Whereas all these strategies work, or most of them work. And Mac's been using it religiously, and obviously there was many more people before me when I came to Pat's. So I believe in it 100% wholly. It works beautifully. It really does. It's incredibly accurate. But sometimes if we misdraw the trend channels, or our perception of it is maybe a little bit different, so yeah, sometimes it can catch us out a bit. See what happens here. See this channel I drew. Might not be that right. It might not be right. See what happens here. I put it there just to see if it, what more out of interest, what was going to happen when it bounced there a bunch of times and it popped out. So now I would say, in fact, that's probably down here, really, isn't it? In all honesty. Does look like 2 pushes, doesn't it? See if this comes back in. I have a separate strategy for trend days versus rain days. Interesting. I know you couldn't stay away, Angela. You were going a minute ago, weren't you? Yeah, I knew you couldn't resist. I know you couldn't resist my British charm. 5 took the same trade as you. Good on you, mate. Good on you, mate. Did you take that one, did you, bud? You'd have got... See, really, what I should have done is... If you look at this, I actually took the lower high, but when it moved to the failure, I brought my stop down, and it came up, took out my stop, and then dropped back down. So if I'd have kept it there, when it came down again and stalled here, I'd have taken it out for maybe a couple of points profit. But I did reduce my risk down to only a point, so I can live with that. But I thought after this, that was coming down the bottom. I did. I got to say, first one. Oh, that one there, yeah. I think that was okay. That was. I was tempted to take that one as well. I do sometimes, but you know, sometimes how you date yourself. Because if I did do something wrong there, I'd have screwed 2 lots up instead of 1. It is hard to get away from the screen sometimes, isn't it? Yeah, I got to say, I get a bit excited when I know I'm trading. It's like a challenge for me to try and find money. It's sort of doing the same. We had this push down, a little bit of correction, and a push up. Push down, a little bit of correction, and a push up. We've had this one leg down. I'd like to think it's possible we're going to make another leg down. So just that reason, push sideways up, push sideways up. I'm thinking we may be coming down. But... And we've had a break of this. Well, it's not a confirmed channel, I suppose, really, in all honesty. I'm just wondering, maybe this. Let's try it from the bottoms. I thought maybe it's a spiking channel. A different colour. See if that looks any better. Touch. Actually, I think that may look a bit better. Let's remove this one. Might be a spiking channel. Touch there, touch there, touch there. I think that might look a little bit better. Obviously, we get channels within channels. In fact, I think pretty much Mac drew a channel here, something like that. Doesn't work for me, but excuse me. Oh, sorry, mate. I just noticed Sam, I found I went on it for a couple of... Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday? Let me have a look. Let me find it. Let's make this a bit... Oh. Let's get it up. I can put it by the side, actually. Let's have a look. There we go. There we go. I like the barcode, mate. I like the barcode. Yeah, I've got it up. I got it up. There we go. Okay, I'm in. That's quite a few, actually, isn't there? Oh, yeah, lovely. Nice. Okay, let's see what's going on here. What time is it? It's okay, so I've got about another 45 minutes, haven't I? Yeah, if anybody's watching, Sam's opened a Discord for everyone to get together and chat. How do you message Sam? Sorry, type out we can get it if you want. If you're still in the chat, Sam, let people know on my stream how they can get into it, mate. You know me, mate. I'm not the. I find it a bit confusing, although I'm getting the hang of it. But yeah, just mark. Just put in the chat on my stream, Sam, where people can join the Discord. It's just a way of everyone to get in there and have a chit chat, compare ideas, trades, so on and so forth. So yeah, fire away, mate. Fire away. You can let people know if you're still there. You might. I don't know if you're streaming or you're trading, mate. But if you hear this, or I'll let people know. But yeah, Sam, 5 trader. He's got a Discord, so free to join. But it's just a way of just getting together, helping each other out, a little bit of support, trading ideas, charts, so on. You know the story. So yeah, I'm in it now myself actually. So if you've got a spare screen or you want to have a chit chat while you're watching me, jump in. Okay. Just wondering actually if I adjusted this down to maybe say here, that might work better. Oh, that might work better at the bottom. Let's have a look. Five trader, FIFE trader. His name's Sam. He's just opened a Discord. In fact, I'll tell you what, look, there you go. That's it there. 5 trader. So yeah, jump in, and I've got it now up by the side of it. I joined yesterday, so you can have a little chit chat, share ideas, just a little community, which doesn't cost anything, just enables us to hook it up. So there it is, and that's him there, 5 trader. He streams as well. I think he usually streams after me, but I will apologise now. He is Scottish, so don't expect anything free. Put it that way. Okay. Yeah, I've adjusted that a bit more as a spiking channel, and that actually fits much nicer. Excuse me a second. Okay. Bill Thomas. Thinking of switching from Tradeovate to Ninja Trader because Tradeovate having issues. Is it really? I got to say, I swear by Ninja Trader. What I will say is I think it's expensive. Now, to have the ATM strategy costs you. You can use it free without it, but otherwise it's $1,000. But what you can do is if you say, Apex is doing a 35 or $33 a month on the evaluations. You can sign up to one of those, not actually use the evaluation if you want, but just pay the $33 a month and then trade on a sim if you're sort of new to it. So that's a way of having everything within Ninja Trader, but not having to pay the $1,000. Or I paid $200. I think it was £250 UK, which is a little bit more than that. So that's the beauty of you can just pay the $33, not trade the evaluation, so you won't blow it, and it'll be for the life. So for every month you use it, you can just pay the $33. Or am I making things up? I don't know, mate. Actually, did they Ninja Trader buy Tradeovate? I got no idea. This is the only platform apart from I used MetaTrader 4 for about 6 months. But yeah, I do like NinjaTrader. It's just nice to use. Everything works. Love the way the strategies work and the ATM strategy works. What up, Trev? Hey, James, how you doing? How you doing? Sorry, RG. RGE, how you doing? I didn't see it there. Apex is still recommended. Not. Yes, absolutely. Don't install updates to your NinjaTrader unless you clear it with Apex first, because it can create problems. I think what Apex need to do is have a little bit of time to work with the latest edition before we upgrade to it. That's what I remember last time, if I remember rightly. Yeah, absolutely. So NinjaTrader is awful to set up, but once you've got it, it's much better. Yeah, when you set it all up, right click and go into templates and save it in there, because I spent ages setting it up and then something went wrong with it and I shut it down without saving it, or something happened to it. It wasn't working properly and I had to reset it. And I had to go through all the setting it all up again. So yeah, make sure when you've got it set it how you like, go into templates and click save as, whatever you want to call it, day trading setup or something. But yeah, make sure you do that. Because I didn't. And I had problems. The bars were going a bit funny and someone told me to sort of shut it all down without saving it, and I had to reset it all up, which was a ball ache. Yes, it is a bit harsh how you can use it for free, but without the automated trader. But yeah, it's $1,000. It's a mind boggle, I gotta say. But instead of paying that $900, you can just sign up for an Apex evaluation, $33 a month, and just don't trade that. Just trade on a sim. Or even wait till they do. Sometimes they do the 90% off, which is about $16, $17, and then just trade monthly with their license. It's much better, because especially when you're learning, it's expensive enough as it is without chucking $1,000 away. It's frustrating, really. I think they should let you use it while you're trading on a sim, and as soon as you start trading your own money, then charge you. And in fact, that's the way a lot of companies work. They'll let you use it for free until you start making, which is fair enough. Trouble is, if you're charging $1,000, not everyone can afford that, and you're going to be losing potential customers. Often, to be honest with you, mate, I don't think it's been less than a month before they've do another one. So this one runs out tomorrow midnight Eastern Standard Time. But I'll be shocked if they don't have another one within a month. They seem to have them really regular. It's never seemed to be on. In all my honest opinion, I think they'll do 80% off permanently at some point, because I obviously get a kickback from, where is it? Pointed down here. This code I got down here. I get a kickback, and I know how many they sell when the offer's on to how many, because obviously I make it with the link. I make a commission off it, and it goes up tenfold when they have the 80% off. So I can't see them personally. I think they'll do it full time. Personally, absolutely, yeah, pretty often, Jonathan. Yeah, constantly seems to be, doesn't it? Oh, new subscriber. Oh, wonderful. Cute kid. I better get rid of that actually, shouldn't I? It's probably not good. Okay, now if you look at that, that technically is a break. Going off these first few swings here. Touch nice and tight, touch nice and tight. It has popped out a little bit. So I still don't know what you think about this this channel, whether it's valid or not. It may not be. Let's remove it. See if it makes any more sense. I don't think it does actually. Yeah, see, actually, I think that probably works out better. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't a massive fan. Something just didn't seem right. That actually looks better to me. Let's just mark this new high so we know where the overnight highs were. Yeah, we're definitely ranging. I think we've had this push down and we've definitely been ranging. So that would make sense why that didn't work lower. Because if you look, it's bounced off there 4 times, isn't it? And closed above there. A couple of pushes up and another try. So actually that would make sense why that didn't push lower. Just by the fact that we'd had these few bounces. How do I find the Discord? Good question. Let me think. Can I invite somebody? I don't know. See, message me. Let me think. I'm not 100% sure actually. I was hoping Sam. The thing is, he's streaming now, isn't he? So, what I'll do, I'll message him later, and I'll get him to drop something on the comments tomorrow. How you can, but I know his name is Five Trader, but I don't know how to get in the Discord. He sent me an invite, or he might have put it on the. I don't know. I'll message him later. I'll get him to put something on the comments here for tomorrow. Oh, sorry, I'm not trading tomorrow. I got the dentist. Let me just message him. I'll just message him. Okay, I just messaged him. P account does not include. P account does not include ATM. Yeah, absolutely, it was. Yeah, yeah, because you use a Ninja Trader license. I've got my own license, but I've not got my own license programmed into the software. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'd be no good otherwise, would it? So yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, when you join Apex, they'll send you a code, which goes into. Good question. I can't remember. No, it goes into somewhere anyway. I can't think. It's been that long since I put a code in. I can't think. But no, they'll send you a code and then you just enter it, and then you're good to go. Absolutely, good to go. Yeah, that looks better than the downtrend now, I've got to say. Okay, so we've had this break new high. Now, I'm not 100% convinced that is a good size break. And we're in a range at the moment, so I'm not thinking about going long or short here. It could be a lower high, breaking a new high, but it's short of these highs, so it may go a bit higher. So this could be a second entry long, or it could be a lower high. So do you think we could have reached a desirable point for buyers to take profit in order to go low? It's possible, but you know, sometimes they'll push it right to the nearest tick, won't they? So sometimes I wonder why, in a range, the market is still pushing up when we're here. So I know exactly what you're saying. See, that's a second entry long there. But because it looks like it's come out, it might have played out, in which case you might get trapped. But yeah, I know what you're saying. I've asked myself that question sometimes, but sometimes they push it right to the top. And then what you'll find then is you'll have a load of traders with a sell order just above there. So as soon as it breaks above it, that's it. But yeah, there we go. A lower high. I mean, technically it's played out that, but it wasn't a massively convincing break. So this now could be a lower high, or it could be a lower high. Sorry, could be a second entry long trap. Now, the good thing about learning to identify these traps is you get caught in them less. And the only way to learn to identify them is to get caught in them. Swings and roundabouts, really, isn't it? This could be 2 legs back. If this ends up bullish, a lot of people might take that, and then it could tick above and come down. So, see, it is out a little bit there, actually. I could probably pull that back a touch. There. Yeah, I've put it right to there and right to there, and it's still come out a little bit. But some might class that as a break in a new high. Some might class it as here's your break and they're expecting a new high. If it does tick above, then I might be interested in putting a short down here just to trap the longs. Let's have a look. See if it pushes. I want it to push above there and there to finish bullish, to think it might trap some longs, but no, it doesn't look like it's going to. I'm not all sure you can see that link. Nothing on here, mate. No, there's nothing on. I don't think you can put links on here. You might just have to type something. But you know, go ahead, mate. It's not a link. It's posted on my YouTube page. Okay. So it's on, what is it? It's 5 Trader, isn't it? Type your YouTube page, bud. I'm quite happy for you to do that. Just type in your YouTube page, and then there'll be a link on it there. So if anybody wants to join, I'm here. I'm on it now. I've got it. I've got it on another half of my computer, so a screen rather. So yeah, just. I'm sure it's just. Is it 5trader.com or something like that? Okay. You're still in this long guy. You took it there. Yeah, it's for me. It's 50-50 this, because we have technically come out of it there. That's tight to it. That's tight. That's as tight as I can get. And it's popped out a little bit. Not a massive amount, but some might consider it a break. Others won't. I think it's pushed enough up. If it can break above this, then you may trap anybody who took that lower high. Yeah, it's YouTube page. Let me have a look. See if I can find it. That's it, I think. Yeah, 5trader.com. Yeah, there we go. I'll drag it in. There we go. 5trader.com. And there's a link to the Discord down there. Yeah, 5trader.com. And there's the link for the Discord. So I'm on it now. It's just a way of everyone chit-chatting. It should go boom, boom, should it? Boom, boom up or boom, boom down? Hopefully, if you've gone long here, boom, boom up. Trouble is, if that is a break, it could end up doing this, couldn't it? Which is a failure, isn't it? Fell second and too long, trapping short. Sorry, fell second and too long, trapping the shorts. Be interested to see where that closes. Yeah, so this could go up or down. Put it this way. If that triggers below this bar, anybody who's going short with a failure will be in that trade, in which case a buy order above that bar, I would like to think then we would make a new high. So 2 legs down, a push up above the EMA, so it still could go either way. Up, you think it might go up? Well, to be honest with you, the only short trade I can see in there really would be that one, and that's ticked above it, so any shorts that were there was taken out. So this to me is 1 leg down, 2 legs down, and that's pushed up, but it could just close here and come down, or it could go up. Yeah, excuse me, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be 2 minutes. Right, okay, this is the key now. Are we coming down or are we going up? See, this could be one leg, two legs, in which case you're moving up, or it could be one leg, two leg, in which case it could be moving anywhere. If that, let's have a look. If either one of these trigger, preferably that one, then I might put an order above there, in which case if it does push up above there, it'll take out any shorts, but yeah, I think lead and loser's right. If it does break above there, I think it'll move up quick, because that has technically played out. So there's probably is maybe some shorts here buying this, selling this, sorry. Breaks above there, it might have a quick pop. Try and exit before the top. That's the trouble, isn't it, sometimes? I've been in so many trades in the past where it rockets up and comes back down before you've had a chance to move your stop. See this, two legs down. It could be trying to go high once, trying to go high twice, failed, come back down. So it really could do anything at the moment. It could come down. This could be one leg. This could be another leg. Or there could be just two separate legs and then push up. One leg up, another leg up. It's just, I don't know what's going on here. But if you can identify times where you're not sure what's going on, it's a good time to understand then to stay out. Still bullish, are you? Yeah, it doesn't seem to be pushed. It's hard to say. I'm hoping this will trigger, because if it does trigger, then I'll put my order there, because there's a couple of good reasons to go long then. But I'd want this to finish bearish and trigger, because then one push up, two push up. So it's just identifying what people are thinking, isn't it? That's really what we're seeing. Want to finish bearish. See, if that triggers, it's a failure. If this finishes bearish and triggers, then I think up here, for me personally, might be an interesting place to put a long. It's not as bearish as I'd have liked. Might just push up. I'm zero. Oh, sorry. See, nothing on here is really triggered. I did thought it might have a strong push, but nothing's really triggered. Also, sometimes I've been caught trying to go long, and what this is a breakout of the channel. So many times I've jumped in here thinking we're going long, and it's just a breakout of a channel. It comes down. I've been caught out there, but the good thing about being caught out on these trades is you learn from them. You learn when to stay away. See, for me, this is a little bit unsure what's going on this. But I think what you got to do is you got to be aware that that has had a break. As small as it is, it's significant enough that it may not push higher when it comes out, because technically it's had a break and a new high already. Also, this could trap some longs in here, because some longs might have taken that. They may have taken it above that. They may have taken it above one of these. So if it struggles to push up, it could come tanking down quickly. Let's see if that may happen. Yeah, because we've had this, see, we have technically had a break. So many times I've decided we haven't had a break, and I've tried to go long here, and all of a sudden it goes wham. and takes you out. So I try and now not get too focused on what I think, on trying to run these, trying to make it new extremes when technically we've had it. Sometimes if I've seen that, I've gone, I'll pull that out a bit there, that's better, and it works fine. And it does. But if I'm keeping it tight to those swings, then that really needs to be where it needs to be, which means it has. And I think it's always best to take the safe option and say this has played out, so going long is risky. But sometimes I've gone like that, let's bring it over, and then I've tried to go long and I've got caught out. I'm not saying it's not going to, but it's not pushing up as strong as I'd like, so it could come crashing down. Sometimes the slower it is to get up there, that's another good indicator that it's just risky. Last couple of days, we've been essentially sticking in a 30-point range between. Yeah. I was looking at, I was watching, what's his name? The Bitcoin guy, trades Bitcoin, the guy from Dubai, the young lad with the big glasses, British guy. He was showing the S&P 500. And if you look back on it, ever since we started, what it's been doing is basically it's been coming down like this for a little over a year. But before that, it had lovely big sweeping uptrends and a little pullback, lovely big sweeping uptrends. And that was when I started trading. There were so many lovely uptrends, so much easier. But because we've had this push down and a pull up, push back, pull up, it hasn't been smooth. That's why I think trading's been tough lately. So hopefully once things start to stabilise, interest rates start to drop, people have a little bit more faith, then the likes of these other indices will start to hopefully then having a nice slow climb. Keeping, sort of inflation nicely. I think you US guys try to keep them around about 2%, don't you? I think we go for 2.2 over here. So a nice 2% is nice steady growth. Then you should have these nice big sweeping slow trends, maybe a bit of a pullback, and that's what I was concerned about. That it may have a quick drop down. So many times I've been thinking every opportunity, it's going higher, it's got to go higher, it's got to go higher. And in some cases, because I've just adjusted my chart, it's already happened. We've had a break in a new high. I'm not saying it's not going to, but so many times I've been looking for opportunities to go long. And then all of a sudden it comes crashing down. Be interested to see if this finishes bullish, where it might even attract more longs. In which case it may tick above and then come crashing down. There's probably going to be some longs in there. In fact, I'd say almost certainly the gorilla guy, that's his perfect trade. 2 legs. He'd drop in some in here and take a low risk, and he'd wait for it to come up here. But obviously he's an experienced trader, so he's probably seen the fact that. But let's see what happens down here now. Sweeping stops, yeah. It's not taking out many stops because it's moved down. Be interesting to see if this finishes bullish. This might attract more longs. If it triggers, then I'd say there, yeah, we're coming down there. Yeah, so if this finishes bullish and triggered, I think we're coming down. Because if this finishes bullish, this is the type of trade that I'd have got in on the past thinking we haven't made a new high yet, we haven't made a new high. But I personally think this is going to take out any longs here. It hasn't made a new high here because technically it's already done it. Now, see if this... It's not a bad bar in the way of bullish. See if this triggers. You're bearish, yeah, I'm thinking bearish at the moment. I'm certainly not thinking about getting long here. There will have been some longs there though, judging by the way that pushed up, but I don't think it's good enough myself. I think that's going to come down and take those out, and when it does, it'll take out any longs there, and it'll take out any longs there. It's had ample opportunity to make a new high if it was going to. This for me just isn't going to work. I hope I'm wrong, but if I'm right, it's good because it means I'm learning. I'm learning not to get trapped, because there are plenty of times, you know, I might have taken a long there and I might be in it, and I might have taken a long there. And there's going to be other traders out there like me. But it just goes to show you're learning where not to stay out, where to stay out of. Next 5 minute candle below, trigger a short. So you could take this lower high and hope to trap some possible longs there, because the way it's done this, 2 legs down, a push up, another push down, there's definitely people thinking we're going long here. I'm not. I'm not saying, well, it's not strictly true. I'm not saying we're going long, but I'm saying it looks risky to me. Because I've been trapped going long thinking it's got to make a new high, it's got to make a new high, and I'm doing everything, getting in every opportunity to try and get high, and all of a sudden, wham, it comes down and takes you out. Now, do I want to go short here? No. Is it coming down? I'd say yes. But I've been going on and on about people getting trapped going long. The last thing I want to do now is take a short and get trapped going short, because I'd look pretty stupid. But also, we've come up and hit this highs. This is the highs of the range for me at the moment. You may say it's a bit lower down, but so I'd like to come a little bit higher, and maybe we will at some point. But also, it is a possibility, second entry long, if that breaks above here. It's just, I don't know, it's just looking risky. And whenever I think it's looking risky going long, it always backfires on me. So I've learned to stay out of it. Identify what might be happening, that it's dangerous. and that if it does come down, it'll come down quick. And sometimes I did something like this a couple of weeks ago, and it whacked through my stop like a freight train, and it actually took me out for an extra couple of ticks. Trade your plan, anything else is irrelevant. Yeah. But if you try and work out what the market's doing, it helps you stay on the right side of it. At the moment, I know what I think, but that's enough to make me feel this is risky. So if you try and identify, because all we're studying here is human behavior, if you try to understand what human beings are thinking here, it can help you stay on the right side of the market and not get trapped. I'm not taking a trade because I don't know. So I obviously trading what I know or what I'm pretty sure about. And at the moment, this has got risk written all over it, going long. So I was kind of hoping that finished bullish because that may trap some longs in again. Yeah, see, another thing I've noticed, the longer it spends time going up a bit, down a bit, up a bit, down a bit, when it does move in a direction, it usually does it quite violently. Okay, that's took out any possible longs that went along there. What I want is it to come down here. Yeah, it hasn't taken them out yet. I dare say there'll be some second entry longs there. It wasn't a massive signal bar, so may have been some longs there. Okay, there we go. So I made a good decision there. I can see people are trying to push the market higher to make these new highs. And I've been trapped so many times. I may have taken that in the past. I may have taken that and look what happens. Wham. It eats up them stops. What area do you think market can approach if it continues downtrend? Not a clue, mate. That I can't tell you, but what I can tell you is I know areas now that look dodgy and that you're likely to get trapped. And how you learn that is you get trapped in them, and I've been trapped in these lots of times. And when it does something like this, it's just got be careful written all over it. So it's identifying times where, and that I suppose comes with experience. And I mean, we may well push up and make a new high now, but this just didn't look the right way of doing it. Yeah, well, as I mentioned earlier, we've come up here. I'd have preferred to push a bit higher, but this just didn't look the right way to do it. That wasn't a good signal bar, but obviously someone was buying there, but it didn't go up that high, and then it's sort of another push down. You may have gone some longs, in fact, wasn't there? No, there were some longs there. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, but it just, you can see there was people trying to push it higher, and then we had that quick strong push down. So it may go higher, it might not. All I'm doing is learning to identify areas that I think are traps that I've been trapped in before, because sometimes I look at this and think every opportunity to go along, I'm just looking for any type of opportunity to break these highs. But when you adjust your chart right, touch, it has broken down a little bit. So I'm just pleased I'm identifying areas where I've got in trouble before, because if you can identify those, you should get trapped less. I'm looking for a long entry all the way down. Hey? You're looking for a long entry? All the way down to 3991. You mean a short entry? Who's on about then? Short entry. Yeah, I mean, it was still possible we break this high, but this didn't look the right way. This was, you know, it just didn't look right to me. But it has technically played out, which is why I left any long alone. And I tend to leave them now. So many times I'd have gone, oh, it's popped out a bit there. Let's just bring that over. There we go. Oh, look, here's our first break. I've got to go high. And what happens? You get trapped. So it is important. Sometimes you think it's important to get these so precise. But even, you know, just a little breakout like that a lot of people might not even notice. It's technically done its job. And we're in a range. It doesn't always go higher. So that's one thing to be aware of. But this, for me, just had trap written all over it. Absolutely. It could go up or down. That's, you know, I said I'd have preferred it to go higher, but that's all I was really on about was the area where it looked like there was people getting trapped going long. You know, if we'd have had a sort of one leg down, two legs down, you may have sort of gone along there, and if you did, you got trapped. And when it dropped below there, it took out them and them stops and pushed down 2 points quickly. I'm not saying it's not going to go higher or lower, but for me, I just identify, and it didn't look right. That so many times I'd have been jumping in there trying to go higher. What time is it? Okay, guys, it's 3 hours. We've been trading 3 hours and 10 seconds. So I did say it's one of my new rules. And to be honest with you, I'm up about $550 on the day. So that is going to be it for me. I'm pleased with what I took there. I could have had a couple of points out of there, but it wasn't meant to be. I had more focused on that. And that's what made me think we were possibly pushing down. But it just didn't look right. So as soon as I got rid of it and drew in the range, that made perfect sense. It bounced 4 times. And you'd expect it to move off, which it did. It went a bit higher than this. And that went a bit higher than this. And then eventually went up. So that wasn't a terrible trade. But because we're in a range, it wasn't destined to make a new low. But it did make a couple of points. So that, as they say, is that. Yeah, it's been a right day, isn't it? It's not been a terrible day. I feel a little bit clearer. I've just got a different plan now to trade things differently to try and get some money back. So I'm not looking at the bigger picture. And sometimes the bigger picture can be a bit overwhelming, can't it? I'm trying to think a little bit small at the moment. Just try and make some of the money back and just try and... because you're battling your demons and your losses all the time. It's nice to get something back. So my plan is, as I mentioned earlier, to just do one evaluation. When I pass that and go on a PA account, I'll start another evaluation. When the PA account gets to 10 days trading and above $2,600, I'm going to take a withdrawal. And then I'm going to temporarily put that account on hold until the withdrawal is confirmed. And then, okay, it's only down to at least $600, so I'll have to reduce my amount of risk on there. But hopefully by that time, after the 10 days, the other evaluation should be at PA level, so I can do the same there. So hopefully 3 days always good. Absolutely. So yeah, that's it, guys. So don't forget that if you are for an evaluation and use my code, it's much appreciated. And that does finish midnight tomorrow. It'll be Eastern Standard Time, I think. So if you use it or you have used it, thank you. It's appreciated. I only use it because I know it doesn't cost you anything extra. So I appreciate you hooking up with me. Tomorrow, which account size are you trading? 50,000. That's all I ever trade. They're the cheapest, the best value, they're the easiest to pass. And I can't see why you'd ever want to trade more than 10 contracts. If you got 10 accounts trading 10 contracts, that's a huge amount of money. So for me, I personally, I don't see the point of going for $300,000. But that's my personal opinion. So now I have a dentist appointment tomorrow at 2:30, which is market open. So depending on how if that's pretty quick and I can get back home early, I may start a stream. But if I do, and you're a subscriber, you'll get notified anyway. So see you, Lance. Keep it up. Stay humble. Thank you, mate. That's all you can do, isn't it? Yeah, cheers, Sam. Thank you, Indy. Thanks, Lead Loser. Thanks, Osam. Thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, I appreciate everyone looking up with me. It's nice to have a chat. So that's it for today. Hopefully, if the dentist appointment's quick, it'll probably be an hour and a half late. But if I get back at a reasonable time, I'll start a live stream. And if you subscribe, you'll get notified anyway. So that's it for today. So if you're carrying on trading, stay safe. Have a great day, and hopefully a little bit late, but I'll catch up with you tomorrow.